Today's match is presented by Nucor. Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Nucor is the official sponsor of the Carolina Ascent FC. As we welcome you here to a chilly Tar Heel state for this top four matchup in the Gainbridge Super League. It's Carolina and Lexington for the sixth time. Alongside Jade Barquette, Michael Wattrang with you as we take a look at the standings presented by Carolina Office Solutions. Philip Poole said that Carolina is a match or two away from being right in that picture with Lexington and Sporting Club Jacksonville at this point in the season. But you take a look at the race 1 through 7, very tight to try to get above the playoff line. And these two teams have played some tight matches, but they've all favored Carolina over the last 5. Lexington won the first match ever. They have not led in any of the last 5.
The last time these two teams met was very early on in the season, the 7th game in October, and it was a battle. This was the first goal late on in the game by Audrey Coleman, and then this goal from Addie McCain came in the waning seconds of the match. This game is going to be a fight to the final whistle. Both of these teams just trying to impose their will early. They're really exact matches on all sides of the ball.
It's one of the 4 matches Lexington have trailed in this season. As we take a look at our player to watch, presented by Gatorade, Mia Corbin has scored 3 times against Lexington in the series.
She is the player of the year for her club in the 2024-2025 season. She's an experienced vet and knows how her head coach Philip Poole wants to play, knows the system inside and out and what he wants from a forward. Get the ball and try to go to goal.
This Carolina organization knows exactly what Lexington is going through right now. After winning the Shield last year, that is where Lexington is hoping to get right now, second in the league, but they lead the league in pretty much every important category.
Yeah, this team is such a well-rounded group. They just have firepower on all sides of the field. And like you mentioned, Carolina was in this spot last season and eventually won the Players' Shield. It's just a different look for Carolina this year. Lexington is on fire in all categories and just continues to lead the way.
Lexington have only trailed for 149 minutes all season long, and a big part of that is the reigning Player of the Year, Amina Ekic, became the first player in league history to 10 assists last week.
Her new head coach, Kosuke Kimura, just said that she is a supernatural and was born to play this game. And now they're just working on crafting her technique. Why does she do the things that she does to try to make it seem like she knows the next step before she takes it?
Carolina is winless in its last 3 matches. Will they be the first team to beat Lexington this season? Or will Lexington continue to ride its 16-match unbeaten run? For the 6th time, it's Carolina and Lexington. The kickoff is next.
When it comes to delivering high-quality, affordable health care, relationships matter. And after 90 years, Blue Cross North Carolina is proud of the relationships we've built with you. We're 5,000 neighbors, friends, and family committed to improving the health and well-being of everyone across this state. We're here for you, all of you.
Carolina Ascent Soccer, coming to American Legion Memorial Stadium. Super Women of Soccer. Some players don't just defend. Sydney Studer, the Shield. Because protecting the goal means nothing gets through.
Saturday, February 14th, Valentine's Day at 2. Celebrate the love of the game, a halftime wedding, and get player-signed Valentine's cards. Tickets start at $19 all in.
CarolinaAscent.com. We kick grass.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, graded assists. Gainbridge, graded assists for your savings.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
We welcome you back to Charlotte as we close in on kickoff. Carolina and Lexington, a top 4 battle in the Gainbridge Super League. Michael Watring, Jade Barquette, and our team back with you as we get ready for kickoff. We take a look at the starting lineup presented by Capelli Sport. And you take a look at Carolina, and Shea Drew makes her team debut.
She does. She was a sub versus Sporting Jackson their last game, makes her start here for her new club. And then Mia Corbin is the other change up top for the Ascent. Those 3 goals that we mentioned against Lexington might have their number, so head coach Philip Poole put her in the lineup to see what she can do.
Conversely, for Lexington this evening, they have an elite group up top. That is going to be the biggest challenge for Philip Poole with Ekich, Berry, and Weiner.
Right, and no changes for them. And why would you? There's a star-studded from back to front as you can get in that power 3 up top, like you mentioned. You have the playmaker in Amina Ekich. Quick and shifty is Mackenzie Weiner, and then the scoring machine in Cadbury up top. Really hard to stop.
There's a look at Kosuke Kimura. He got his first win in his first match last week after he moved up from the assistant role to the head man role last week against Fort Lauderdale in that 3-1 win, snapping a string of 4 consecutive draws for Lexington as they don the green kits here today in Charlotte for our matchup. On the other side for Carolina, it's Philip Poole, former U.S. Women's National Team assistant, and in his second season as the leader of the Ascent. And these two guiding their groups into the action here today. Both had a lot of positives to say about their respective opponents for this matchup. Very much understanding that this could be a playoff preview between Carolina and Lexington. These two teams, slightly different forms. You take a look at Carolina on the one side. They're winless in their last 3, have lost 2 of their last 3. Meanwhile, coming off of a win for Lexington, of course, they're the only team in the league without a loss. Last season, it was Carolina that started the year with 11 straight unbeaten to begin the season. This year, it is Lexington with 15 in a row. Joe Sergin is our center referee for our matchup today. He'll be the man with the whistle in the middle. For Lexington, it is the green kits. For Carolina, it is the Trailblazer Kit 2.0, that multicolored kit. As Carolina puts the ball in play, we're underway in this matchup, Carolina and Lexington for the 6th time. Michael Wattrain, Jade Barquette, and the rest of our team inviting you to come spend part of your Saturday with us here at American Legion Memorial Stadium in Charlotte. Jade, what are you watching for in this one?
These teams, like I kind of mentioned in the open, are pretty identical in all ways. How they're in and out of possession, they want to keep the ball and they want to close space early. And in their shape, they're going to both come out in that 4-3-3 formation, just try to control the middle part of the pitch to advance the ball forward. And head coach Philip Poole said it's going to be a little bit of a chess match in between these two teams, and not the boring type of chess match, but more of a power slap type of match between these two. The firepower on both sides is tremendous.
Yeah, you mentioned that sometimes chess match has a negative connotation. He thinks this is very much a thinkers, players game in this one. And he said over the last several matches, his team can be a little bit frustrated. You take a look at their last 6. There have been a grand total of 5 goals scored between them and their opponents. They've been outscored 3-2. They've lost 3 1-0 matches in that stretch. So trying to make something different. This is a great late arriving run. Weiner wallops across, and the first shot of the game gets some empty space for Weiner 90 seconds in.
That's a goal kick, Carolina Ascent.
Our injury report today is presented by Ortho Carolina. DeMarco continues to be out. Lexington pretty healthy for this time of the season. To the top it goes. Ekich slows. Taken away, though, by Martinez. And a chance to reset here for Suter and McClellan. These are 2 of the top goalkeepers in the league, McClellan and Asman on the other side, that we'll keep our eyes on as we go throughout the match. McCain. She had the equalizer the last time these teams played in the 97th minute. one of the 2 times in the history of the series that Lexington have scored after the 97th minute to equalize against Carolina, and a 100th minute equalizer in the second ever meeting. Bourgeois touches it back. Moyer recycles. Kosuke Kimura mentioned to us how much he liked his team's performance against Fort Lauderdale. He said that really not much of a change after McHenry takes over the men's program in Lexington. And if anything, there's been maybe just a little bit of a shift in their tactics. And you take a look at the difference. Carolina, same coach from day one. Meanwhile, for Lexington, they continue to shuffle coaches, and hopefully they've landed on somebody in Kosuke Kimura.
He did mention that him and McHenry just really have kind of the same brain, so they really didn't have to shift much. They just added a few things in their mentality, how they are on the field together in their attacking mindset, but then also just re-emphasizing the team first mentality within this group. He said that they have it, but they just wanted to make that more of an emphasis coming into this spring, and then their execution and everything that they do, no matter what role you play, execute it to the best of their ability. And they started off this spring hot, obviously beating Fort Lauderdale 3-1. You mentioned how impressed he was with that. And now he just wants his team to be more organized defensively behind the ball.
Long throw from Hannah Schartz. Carolina gets a couple heads to it. They knock it outside of the 18-yard box. Weinert watches, now reads the second ball, and Carolina explodes out of the pack. Corbin cannot reach it, and it rolls out of play. Here's a look at Shea Groomer, first start with the new club. One of the great professional women's soccer players in the United States. In the NWSL's history, she's top 30 in both appearances and goals scored. And now settles in here at 32 years of age, the Kansas City native.
Philip Poole also told us that she's a player that just brings everything to this team. The mentality side, obviously the insanely high soccer IQ, but they said that they wanted to give her a little bit of rest going into this season with Carolina Ascent, just because she stopped playing in the NWSL so long ago. She needed a little bit of a preseason herself. Like I mentioned, came off the bench for Sporting Jacks, but knowing that their team needs a win right now, Philip Poole started her today.
Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Nucor is the official sponsor of the Carolina Ascent FC. You can see some of the snow building up around the park here today. Temperatures are in the low 40s for kickoff, and the sun shining. It was pretty windy earlier today. The wind not as much of a factor as we go through the early portions of this match. Martinez pilfers, rolls it forward for Parker. She can't control. And a chance to reset here. Moyer. There is Kat Asman, the league leader in clean sheets, second in the league in saves this season. 25-year-old out of Penn State. Good touch there. Catherine Barry draws the foul, and what a revelation she has been. Had gone 3 straight matches without a goal, and for some you might think, oh, that's not too long. But that was a season high for her, and then she tallied the brace against Fort Lauderdale, her 3rd brace of the year.
She is such an outstanding player and really plays a lot of roles for this Lexington side. She can come back in and help them in the build-up. You just saw her there in the midfield. And right there, she's just holding up play for her team, trying to facilitate possession to get them higher up the pitch, not to force the issue, try to turn into defenders. But that's what they've really been working on with her, is how she can hold the ball up more, use her body, and then spin out and try to get the ball on the other side of the field.
We've spoken with a lot of coaches in this league, and every single one of them mentions this top 3 that Lexington has. You have Kat Berry in the middle, and then Weinert and Ekic off the sides. It is something that every team has to find solutions for every single time you play against Lexington this year, and a big reason why they haven't lost this year.
And it's so hard to try to find new strategies each and every week against this team who just continues to get better. They just tweak little things, and then in the next match they have, it's like it's fixed immediately. And for Carolina and for head coach Philip Poole, he just said that they want to create subtle numerical advantages all across the field to try to switch the ball to that weak side for Lexington. And you saw it a little bit earlier in this match when Weiner had that opportunity on goal. Carolina actually got sucked to one side and didn't see her. So again, we're seeing that chess match play out a little bit earlier in this match, right even before the 10-minute mark.
These are going to be key moments for Carolina as well. They get the ball taken away from Lexington. Now how can they respond? Lexington, the fewest goals allowed in the league this season. Just 14 goals allowed in their 15 matches. Parker carries it forward, tries to get an angle, slams the brakes on. Cross whistles in, takes one deflection. Ball deflects out for our first corner of the match, and it goes for Carolina. Corner kicks on this left-hand side
And
will be
that'll
taken
be a corner
by
kick for your Carolina Ascent, brought to you by Nucor.
the Ascent and are presented by Nucor. Corner kick flies across. The body hits the deck inside of the box. It doesn't touch anybody until it rolls out
Taking
wide.
that corner kick was
Where
number
Barry
2, Brianna Martinez.
picks it up. Akic is in a pocket of space. She accelerates. 5 different Ascent players trying to hustle back. Aguilera gets a punch. And Akic going against the entire team, basically. Nearly outran everybody.
And continued to put the pressure on their back after she was dispossessed. She was actually running faster than the ball there and got it just up under her feet. But this is the danger of Amina Akic and Lexington. One ball over the top, and she is threatening. Fantastic job by Carolina to work back relentlessly to get behind the ball. But she is so dangerous in that attacking transition, especially off a corner kick when everybody is back.
Schartz Rennies launches this ball into the 18. Yet again cannot connect. Studer gets the first piece. Martinez the second. Miss hits it, and Schartz gets another chance to line one up. 10 minutes in, we're scoreless here to start the day. Part of a triple header here on Peacock in the Gainbridge Super League. Michael Watrang, Jade Barquette, and our team settling in for our match today. Thanks for being with us. Bourgeois takes this throw in. More real estate on this side as she unfurls one in. Groom slides it away. And a foul from Weinert on the backside. Looking for the perfect family night out? The Food Lion Family 4-pack delivers 4 game tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 drinks for only $99.99. Get yours today at CarolinaAscent.com. And now they pull out a yellow card.
An Apollo Law yellow card was just shown to Lexington SC.
Mackenzie Weinert picks it up, brought to you by Apollo Law.
I didn't really think that foul was worthy of a yellow card. Maybe there were some words exchanged afterwards that granted her that card, but with tackle, she just mistimed a little bit and didn't get her foot in there for the ball.
Frustration early on. And now Weinert will have to play on a yellow the rest of the match. One of the team's leading goal scorers. Typically the first 20 minutes are when you see Lexington pounce. They've scored 7 goals in the opening 20 minutes this year. A big threshold for teams to try to get through. But it's a Carolina team that haven't allowed a first half goal since October 4th.
Just another piece of that chess match, and what Carolina has done really well so far in the early stages of this game is just condensing the space for Lexington. You see it there where there's one ball going, the other player, the cover, is right behind that first part of the defense. For Carolina, they're doing really good and not allowing Lexington to turn at all, making them play backwards towards their back line. And then just, you see Mia Corbin there trying to press Ascent a little bit to put her under pressure, cough it up right back to her own teammate.
Ball bounces before it's picked up by Ascent. Suffocating effort right now from Carolina, and that foul from Groom will alleviate that stress for the moment.
And she knew it immediately, went right over to Bourgeois to say her sorry there. But you saw the back pressure from Groom. Once that ball went out wide, she was recovering back to put that second layer of pressure on Lexington. And then that foul was called, but the ball was getting coughed up and dispossessed in that moment. Carolina doing a really good job of not allowing Lexington to really build anywhere in that middle third of the field.
These are the top 2 teams in the league in shot attempts. And right now we have 1 combined. That was Weiner 80 seconds in. But you also have 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the league in terms of goals allowed. Both have allowed fewer than 20 for the year. Groom works out of the pack. Funnels it through the middle. Parker. Ball escapes Akic, but got enough of a piece to give it to Schartz. Martinez commits the foul.
We'll take another look at it here. Martinez just on the wrong side of Akic there, trying to push her off of it, and gets all body instead. But an opportunity for Carolina there to try to build out. Mia Corbin was the one to give that ball away, just rushed it a little bit in that moment. I think she thought she was under a little bit more pressure than she was, but could have taken a touch there and either recycled it towards her back line or played that ball maybe over the top.
Food Lion is the official grocer partner of the Carolina Ascent FC. Food Lion is proud to support the Charlotte community as the official grocer of the Ascent. Your local Food Lion is here to help you get food on the table fast with ready-to-eat meals and shopping made easy with Food Lion to go. Food Lion, here for every moment. Thanks to their Score to Give Money, or to Give More program, 6,000 meals have been donated in the Ascent second season to Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina. Lexington have their first corner kick of the match coming here.
Brought to you by Nucor.
Corners brought to you by Nucor in this matchup. And Amina Akic hovers on top of this. 4 assists for the season after 6 a year ago. And she finds a little bit of snow that she has to shovel first. Akic lofts. McClellan punches it aside. George bobbles. Weinert shot attempt gets knocked aside, and a second bite at the apple now off of this corner as Nabet got down to block that cross.
And great work defensively by Carolina to try to get that ball away. McClellan just tries to punch it out not far enough, and that's the danger of Weinert. She can spark up from anywhere on the pitch, especially in that 18-yard box. You don't want her to catch fire because she's so quick and almost got that cross off. You see it here, it just takes one touch inside, and credit to Carolina for going to ground there to try to stop it.
Akic's second corner this time around, glances off of a Carolina head, and rolls out a play on the opposite side. So the swell of pressure continues here for Lexington with a third corner.
Another new core corner kick for Lexington.
Eckich has to head to the other side to take this one. No snow on that side of the field to deal with. Eckich hammers it across, headed high into the sky and over the top by Steigletter.
And typically you see a left-footed cross from that side outswing, and that one was just straight on to that 6-yard box. A beautiful ball in and an opportunity for a team to get on it. They did, just not low enough to get in the goal.
These are the moments that so many times teams have crumbled against Lexington this season. When Lexington get this kind of possession and find ways to attack, they typically find ways to score. Now that's a challenge for Carolina to try to reset. They get a little bit of an advantage here as Barry tips it and it rolls out for a goal kick.
This Carolina team is player-led. Their head coach, Philip Poole, just said that the conversations that they have are just more about refinement. How do they tweak simple things? How do we fix that to just try to change little things in the game and not change who they are completely? They said they're very confident in how they play.
Weinert steals this. McCain taps it. Barry gets a piece twice. And ultimately it hits her and goes out of play for a goal kick.
They don't seem fazed by the pressure that Lexington is putting on them. They're going to ground. They're making gritty tackles. You see it again there on this play. Weiner almost had another tremendous ball in, and I thought this might have been a handball for Kat Barry, but Carolina just swarming all over the ball right now and not letting Lexington walk all over them like they have done in games past.
Under pressure, Corbin gets this ball away for the moment. Looks for something up the field. Corbin has space. The movement defensively of Lexington really suffocating Carolina. Minutes in the books. We are scoreless between Carolina and Lexington. Carolina has won 2 of the first 5 meetings. It's a takeaway. McCain gets the piece, and it's one right back. Aguilera switches the field. Parker looks for choices. Tries to lay it to Corbin. It takes a deflection. Barry comes back to hold it up. Give it away. George accelerates. George dashes, darts, crushes off of a defender. It trickles. Asman gets a left paw on it and keeps it in play to avoid a corner.
Mackenzie George just showed her work ethic right there to just pick that ball up and go straight to goal. I love the ability that she has just to take on defenders. Nobody was really stepping to her there, but she found that pocket of space to take that shot from. And then Kat Asman, just the ability and tenacity of her to keep that inbounds, knowing that it would have been a corner otherwise, is huge for her team. And it's those little details that separates Lexington in games like this.
There's George again, picking another ball up. A second-team All-League pick last year. Corbin chases after this. Bourgeois has the angle. Gets there first and alleviates the pressure. McCain rolls it into the path of Eckich. Bourgeois. Looking to switch up your youth soccer team's bonding event? Reward employees or clients or celebrate a birthday. Carolina Ascent FC offers customizable group experiences starting at just $20 per ticket, all in. Visit carolinaascent.com/groups or email tickets@carolinaascentfc.com to learn more. Ball rolls out of play. A few mistakes that Lexington have made in the back. Aguilera throws this, looking for George. Ekic springs out of the pack with it. Too hefty on that touch, and a chance to reset as Studer rolls it for McClellan. Stay Kimura, as any manager does when they take over the team. Not trying to make drastic changes, but does have some tactical thoughts that he has in mind.
He did tell us that he's not able to talk to every single player as much as he was before he was promoted to that head coaching role, but he still tries to meet with every player to make sure that they know what their role is and how they can impact the team in any way. And honestly, as a former player, for your head coach to still want to do that is huge, and employ his assistants to make sure that his players are getting spoken to and understood, and their voices heard as well. It's huge to have that in an organization, especially in a team that is riding so high like this team is, to make sure that your team is still knowledgeable of what's going on in the coach's head, but also what they're expecting out on the pitch is huge.
Yeah, the thing that came to my mind speaking with him was things are concise and clear, and I think that's one of the most important things you can have as an athlete is when it's definitive what you need to do. There isn't a lot of fluff, there isn't a lot of excess that you have to think about during the match.
Absolutely. You need to know exactly what your role is and what's expected out of you so that you can focus on the right things as an athlete. You don't need the extra fluff like you mentioned going through your brain. You just need to know, how can I impact my team the best way possible to make the group better? And I feel like that's what's going on in Lexington, and exactly what he was telling us the other day was his communication's always going to be concise and clear so that they know exactly what's expected of them.
It's worked out very well early. They are in second place in the league. It's the second consecutive week in which they've been out of the top spot with Sporting Jacks up there, but still right in that picture, just 1 point off of the pace entering the weekend. That's an excellent ball. Weinert picks it up, and it's nudged aside by Aguilera. Bourgeois set that one up with just a brilliant ball, and they say it's a goal kick and not a corner. I thought it was last touched by Carolina.
I absolutely thought the same, and what a beautiful pass by Bourgeois. The pace on it was perfect, right in stride with Mackenzie Weiner. Jill Aguilera had to get to the other side, and look right here, it does look like that was last touched off Aguilera's right foot, right on the outside of it. Referee looked like just missed that one with the bunch of feet that were running in that area at the time.
Checks on this one. McClellan lets it roll out. The Carolina Ascent online merch store is live. Stock up for our next match on scarves, t-shirts, hats, personalized jerseys, and more. To shop, visit carolinaascent.myshopify.com. Lexington on the road this season have only won twice. They've allowed the fewest goals of any team in the league on the road, however. They've only given up 6 goals in their 7 road matches. So you talk about a team that's been ultra consistent. They're great at home, and coaches will tell you all the time, 3 points on the road is amazing. 1 point's a plus, and for this team, 7 unbeaten on the road, and defending the way that they do on the road as well. It has been a big part of the reason why this team has had such great success in year number 2 of the Super League.
Really, the only thing that Coach Kimura was telling us that he really wanted to change was less ties. He said we'd like to turn those 1-point games into 3-point games for his team, and he got that in their first match of the spring with Fort Lauderdale.
Parker pummels that ball just over the top. First shot of the match for Carolina comes right there, and it nearly found the net.
Again, this is a gritty play by Mackenzie George just to try to keep the ball. It pounces out to Riley Parker, who just takes one touch and sees a window and rips that shot with her left foot. It just skimmed the top of the crossbar. Kat Asman had it covered, but a great look for Carolina. You need to keep Lexington on their toes, especially in the 18-yard box, and a great shot by Parker to have that vision to take it.
Carolina have only scored 8 first-half goals all year long, and 4 of those 8 have come in the final 6 minutes of the first half. So it's a team that very much builds into the match in the attack. Moyer chips it. Weinert waits. Lexington controlling the pulse of this match for the most part. Well, this first half hour has really summarized Carolina. You're talking about a team that in their last 6 has an expected goals of 8.13, but have only scored twice. This is a team that is finding themselves in good positions. They're getting a volume of shots. They've taken 85 total shots in that 6-match stretch, but only scored twice. George. It's that ball defended away by Pantuso.
And you hear frustrating stats like that for this Carolina team, and you would think that they would just want to change a bunch of different things or try to just adjust their game plan, really. And for head coach Philip Poole, he says this team knows what they have to do. And I mentioned it earlier, they're just tweaking little things. And he says that every day they just roll up their sleeves and they get to work. And they have a little bit of a refusal to change who they are because they know that it does work. And as long as they continue to take shots and create chances for themselves, those goals will come.
11 of their 15 games, they've had at least 4 shots on target. And it's been a bit of a tale of 2 years for Carolina. At the beginning of the year, they were scoring a bunch, but they were conceding even more. And now all of a sudden, neither team has been able to score, neither them nor their opponents. Just 5 goals over the last 6 matches between the two. And the Ascent trying to change that in this matchup today, but sitting on just 2 shots for a team that was second in the league in that category and have double digits in all but one this year. And that could be a costly mistake right there. Studer rolls that ball away under no pressure for a throw.
And those are the little details that Carolina has to make sure they correct. They cannot allow Lexington to have a throw in this deep in their defensive half. We know Hannah Schartz can throw the ball into the 6-yard box pretty much from anywhere in the defensive half of the other team. And just to maintain possession of the ball, there was no pressure like you mentioned. It's just those fine detailed moments where maybe it's a mental mistake that they just take off. They're playing the back foot that Lexington will take advantage of.
Schartz unleashes. Pantuso was the target, headed back out. Schartz scoops it to the sky. Almer nudges it forward. Groom gets it past the first. George under pressure. Martinez crosses off of the first chest. McCain. Here's Barry. Barry's the last to touch. It's a throw. Enter the Gainbridge Back to Play giveaway for a chance to win a prize pack, including signed goalie gloves from U.S. Women's National Team legend Brianna Scurry and more. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter for a chance to win. Taken away, Bourgeois. Plenty of choices to the left. She had Ekic over there wide open. Instead, gives it away. Parker in the middle of the park. Parker dribbles, bashes, and misses, but it does take a deflection, and it's out for a corner.
Well, an uncharacteristic giveaway by Bourgeois, but Carolina takes advantage of it. You see Riley Parker just threatening down the central part of the pitch. She did have Mackenzie George on this left side of the back line, but she was really tight to Parker, not really giving her a chance to slip her through. I'd like to see Mackenzie George just separate a little bit from the back line so Parker could play her through. That first touch either be a shot right to goal or take a prep touch and then slot it down the far side for Kat Asman to try to make a save. But Parker picks up this corner off of another shot by her, another great opportunity for Carolina to make something happen in this game.
It's a new core corner here for Carolina. Aguilera heads over to take it. The reigning defender of the year in the Super League. Aguilera arcs. Skims off of the first head and Butler. Trickles out McCain. Mashes it to midfield. These teams met back in October. First goal wasn't scored until the 72nd minute in a 1-1 draw. With about 10 minutes or so remaining in the first half, we're in a stalemate at 0-0. Corbin tries to change that. Parker. Bourgeois steps right up. Pilfers and resets. Ekic springs into action. Martinez gets there first, and Ekic commits the foul with a little shove in the back. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. 10 minutes left in the half. What's your assessment of what we've seen so far?
I think this is what we expected. We knew this was going to be a game where both sides are taking shots at one another. We've seen the possession change from one hand to the other, just like we've seen right here. And it's going to be a battle to the final whistle.
George leaves that. It's Parker with an angle. Parker pummels! Parker torches the threads! Carolina get the opener at home against Lexington. 1-0 advantage in the first half.
And scoring that goal.
And you see the euphoria on Riley Parker's face after this goes in. Again, Mia Corbin doing fantastic work defensively. This ball straight into Parker, who picks it up, threatens the back line, just gets Pantuso on the wrong foot and hammers this one home. Doesn't let Kat Asman have an opportunity to take this ball away from her. She shoots it right down the middle, and finally a shot goes in for Riley Parker. She has been all of the offense so far for Carolina.
It's Parker's first goal of the season, and the first that she has had since March 23rd, when she scored the fastest goal in Super League history at Lexington. Goals presented by Food Lion. Score to give more. So both Both of her career Super League goals have now come against Lexington, and this puts Carolina out in front here on the home pitch. Well, there had been a few sloppy giveaways from Lexington, very uncharacteristic, and this time Carolina makes them pay.
Absolutely, and it was Bourgeois once again who had the ball at her feet, and Mia Corbin just continued to put pressure to make her cough that ball up, and instead of trying to bring anybody else into the play, she goes straight forward knowing that the numbers were threatening there.
That ball skims off of a head, and Lexington get a corner out of this, presented by Nucor.
And there's really been trades of possession on both sides. Carolina has given the ball away, and Lexington has gone right back down their throat again with Amina Ekic driving right down the central part of the pitch. And on the other side for Lexington, they've given the ball up. This time was just a little bit, the consequences really were a goal for them. And let's see how they respond to adversity here in this first half.
Corner kick swings in, Barry gets a piece, and it trickles out. This is a Lexington team that have now trailed in their 5th match this season. They trailed for 25 minutes against Carolina in October.
Carolina Ascent.
And just 150 minutes all season long in which they have trailed. But they have been able to come back and earn draws 3 times this year after the opponent scores first. And for a team that has not lost since last May, 1-0 win against Fort Lauderdale United. They find themselves behind, but with plenty of time to go in our matchup here in the Gainbridge Super League. Michael Watring, Jade Barquette, and our team with you as we settle in for this matchup. Carolina have the advantage, looking to hand Lexington its first loss of the season. Carolina have won 2 of the first 5 in this series. But Lexington have twice scored in late stoppage time to earn draws. So Carolina and Lexington both know that this match has a boatload of time left in it for this result to change.
Absolutely. Both of these teams are going to play till that 90-plus minute whistle is blown. No matter how much time is on the clock, they will continue to push the pace, especially if Lexington is down. We saw it in their last match. It was Addie McCain, and the waning seconds of that game, I think it was a little after the official amount of stoppage time was given, did she score. But they are going to continue to push Carolina until they have an equalizer and maybe more.
McClellan shovels that ball out of play, so Sharts will come forward here to take this throw.
Whatever project you're taking on, the Sunbelt Rentals app offers thousands of tools, so you can search, select, and get just what you need delivered. Download the Sunbelt Rentals app to rent pro tools pronto.
Well, Sydney Studer is down.
A big thank you
this
to
is
all the
a
new clubs,
Carolina
corporate
team that have not allowed a
businesses,
first half
and
goal since
groups in
October 4th. That was
attendance
actually a
this
Studer
afternoon.
own
Your
goal.
support of the
So the
Carolina
last time
Ascent,
an
much
opposing player
appreciated,
scored a
and thank
first
you
half
to
goal
all the young
against
soccer players,
Carolina,
all
you have to
the
go back to
families,
late
and the
September.
individuals who are here
Talking about
for
7
supporting
consecutive
your
matches in which they
Carolina
have not
Ascent.
allowed a first half goal. So that's the positive. The negative of that is they have given up some second half goals that have altered these points, which is what Philip Poole had talked about. Is there are a match or two here or there where they could be in Lexington's spot in the top 2 in the league.
Yeah, and he mentioned to us that he felt like the losses to Fort Lauderdale, Dallas, and even Spokane in the fall were great games for his team. They just couldn't close it out or come back in those matches. And I'm really interested to see how they do that here in the second half, sustain the pressure on Lexington that's been working so good for them.
That's exactly what's happening here. Carolina cannot get the ball away. Almer takes a cut. Finally, the Ascent get the ball out after that ball was hitting off of everybody inside of the 18-yard box. The Gainbridge Super League season in full swing, meaning you can visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gainbridge Super League. Ekic circles. Off of the bobble, Ekic gabs it back. Ekic Banks it off of a defender. Lexington looking to equalize quickly and do it before the end of the first half. Bourgeois lines it up. McClellan misses it. That ball rolls in. Completely misjudged by one of the league's veterans in Megan McClellan. And that ball splashes down and rolls in. I believe Bourgeois is going to be credited with her first professional goal.
Lexington SC.
Lexington equalize. Carolina concede for the first time in the first half since early October.
And Bourgeois was just trying to pick her head up and put this on a platter for Kat Berry. You see McClellan come up and not really sure who was trying to go for the ball there. And the miscommunication in the back line is sometimes all that you need if you're the opposing team. And McClellan just didn't judge the drop of that ball. I don't even think Kat Berry had touched it at all. All you need is a body in front to disrupt that back line. And Lexington finds a way to equalize here in this first half, but heartbreaking for Megan McClellan in Carolina.
And the good fortune is speaking with a lot of goalkeepers over the years, and they specify that of all the things that are the most challenging for them to deal with, it is moments like that. When a player flies in front of your vision and you're not prepared for it because you're expecting a redirect, you're hoping that it's not, and you're trying to come out and get the piece. And in that situation for McClellan, I think that she misjudged it initially, and then rather than continue to come out and catch it, she thought Berry might get a piece, and because of that, she had to settle back in and was really just caught in no man's land, and nobody was able to get back to rescue her at the end. So Carolina leads for 6 minutes before Lexington tie it up. And now at 1-1. Gets the last say here in the end. Back into the box. There's Weinert heading it high.
Obviously, that's a deflating moment for Carolina, but they cannot let that define this first half for them. The amount of work that they were doing in the other half of the field in Lexington's defensive half to try to dictate play was fantastic. They were able to pick up balls, make Lexington cough up possession, and then go to goal from that. That's how their goal was scored, and that's how their opportunities were as well. In possession, can they just keep the ball and be more patient in their buildup? And that's really going to be the difference in the second half, is who can be more patient for their opportunities to come.
2 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. And to tidy things up on Bourgeois, the Massachusetts native, with her first professional goal. She had not scored since she was a senior at Santa Clara in November of 2023. And congratulations to her. Maybe not one that will live in the highlight reel for stinging a ball, but certainly one to remember. Groom lays this ball. George hustles after it, keeps the ball in play, and forces a throw out of this. Bourgeois bashes it aside.
We saw there really was no celebration from her after scoring that goal. Maybe it's just a testament to how much this team wants to work for one another. They're really not out for their own accolades, but she knew her team needed a point in that situation before halftime, and she got it.
George twirls. And it goes out for a throw. Well, a game that looked like we were going to be 0-0 going into the locker room. We get 2 goals in the final 10 minutes. And each team now sitting on 6 shots apiece in this first half. And a really good tussle between these two sides. Back and forth we go. And should set the stage for a enjoyable second half. Taken away. Nabet gets tangled up and draws the foul on McCain. So Carolina will have the final chance here of this first half to do something on a set piece.
I don't know if she meant to draw the foul there. McCain was on her back pretty heavily, but she didn't have anybody in front of her really threatening, so it was a fantastic opportunity right here actually on this set piece for Carolina to just dump something in the box, clip the ball over the back line, because Nabet really didn't have any options going forward. Drawing the foul right there is about as good as you can get.
Aguilera lines it up. Last moments of this first half. Aguilera flies it across. Headed aside, first half whistle blows. And we're tied at 1 between Carolina and Lexington. Well, if you're Carolina, certainly frustration. You felt like at the end of the first half you had seized a little bit of control there, and you give something away. For Lexington, however, they had their finger on the pulse for much of this match, but both sides, key mistakes led to goals.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to clean up those mistakes, those unforced errors that both teams were dealing with in that first half. But positives from both sides. Lexington, very patient in how they build up, and then using the transition moments to try to spring Amina Ekic forward. Mackenzie Weiner with her quickness as well. Carolina doing a really good job of dictating play for Lexington in their defensive half. Can they keep that going throughout this next 45 minutes? And what my teams always used to say when we go to halftime tied is act like the game is 0-0 when you come back on the field. And even playing field, who can score that first goal and keep the momentum going through that second half?
Well, it's a chilly day here in the Tar Heel State, but both teams starting to heat up at the end of the first half. It is 1-1 at the break. Our halftime report presented by the University of North Carolina Charlotte comes your way when we come back. Carolina and Lexington level at the break here in the Gainbridge Super League.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
My husband takes his watch party grilling duties very seriously. Every sport, every season. And because we always find good deals at Food Lion, no one ever leaves hungry. I even got him his own signature touch.
Okay, I'll eat around it.
Here with fresh food that's always affordable. Food Lion, here for every moment.
What does a better tomorrow look like? More people enjoy safer, more comfortable indoor spaces, clean water, clean air, healthy food, and a healthier planet. That's what Train Technologies believes tomorrow should look like. So we put people and the planet first. Today, we take bold action. So tomorrow, there's a better world. For everyone.
Our halftime is presented by the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And Carolina and Lexington are all level at the break at a goal apiece. Thanks for watching. Jake Barquette and the rest of our team back here with you as we look at the news and the notes from around the Gainbridge Super League. Amina Ekic becoming the first player in league history to reach 10 assists. She's also the first player with 10-plus goals, 10-plus assists in her career. And then Nathan Thackeray and Kosuke Kimura both making their head coaching debuts last week. And 3 different teams make changes as their goalkeepers. Debuting is Tyler McCamey, McKinley Crone, and Liz Beardsley across the Super League. Coming up tonight, our schedule presented by Cavelli Sports looks like this. Sporting Jackson, DC Power. How about Fort Lauderdale and Dallas? That'll be a good one this evening.
Absolutely. That Fort Lauderdale team and Dallas both looking for a win in this match. It's going to be a battle of who can impose their will. Dallas trying to fix a few things with their new head coach in Nathan Thackeray, and Fort Lauderdale finding some new pieces to fit into their lineup, try to get a consistent message going within the team. It's going to be a good day in Gainbridge Super League.
Part of our triple header here today as we've gotten things started in this one. Some early chances missed by both sides. Some pushing and shoving between 2 of the top 4 in the league. But a goal apiece through 45 minutes of play. We're back with more when we return in a moment.
All right, we're holding for bubble mounting. Okay, ready? Whistle! I heard someone just yell, Blue Kristen. We believe in you. Oh, and there's a break for the goal. Oh, so close. It's all tied up. A little less than a minute. Oh, so close. Just missed that cutoff. Three, two, one, and whistle. All right. Even for today. Let's hear a round of applause for all of our amazing bubble soccer players. It's kind of fun when it ends up as a tie. Way to go, guys and gals. The Carolina Ascent would like to recognize our Nucor Green Hero of the game. Congratulations to Jill Randolph. Thank you for all you do for our community and the positive impact that you have made. And today, folks, we have a greener living tip for you presented by Nucor. Here's that tip. Support secondhand stores. Buying used clothing, books, or furniture keeps items out of landfills, and it saves resources. Okay, folks, do you see that thing out on the field? That is our brand new t-shirt cannon. It is time to get your energy up because
0-0 was the score until the 36th minute. And ultimately, it would be a giveaway that would set up Parker, and then Bourgeois scored moments after that. Some fun on the field here in Carolina. And fun for a little while in this one for Carolina as well, as we look back at the halftime highlights presented by Nucor. And there were some early chances for Carolina, but Riley Parker was really putting the most of her chances in the first half.
She actually was the one to throw that ball in to get it back, to shoot it. An opportunity early there for her, but this will be the game changer for Carolina. Mia Corbin doing the fantastic work defensively, and then watch as this ball rolls by. Mackenzie George will leave it for Riley Parker, and that takes Pantuso out of the picture for Parker to drive towards that left side, gets her on her back foot, and then just drives straight at Kat Asman and put that one away decisively for her team. And then just this moment, a lapse in judgment for Megan McClelland is really the difference in this game for Carolina. Bourgeois just puts this ball over top. Kat Berry gets her body in front of Porter, who was there to defend her, but McClelland just hesitated a little bit and didn't want to run through her own teammate, but caused the goal instead.
Halftime stats presented by Nucor look like this. Lexington more shots, more possession, but in the end, a goal apiece through 45 minutes of play. How do these two teams come out and play a little bit cleaner in half two?
They definitely need to clean up those unforced errors, the mistakes in possession, just giving the ball away. And maybe that's just jitters going into that first half. I think we'll see a settled side of both of these teams. But for Carolina, can they continue to put the pressure on the back line, the back five really, for Lexington? And then when Lexington does secure the possession in the final third, can they be creative in the ways they break down Carolina?
Each team with a goal in this one. That was the final score when these teams met back in October. But it was some late drama there. The fans hoping for some more goals from Carolina. 1-1, second half is next.
And folks, we have a substitution.
Halftime here in Charlotte with a score level and a goal apiece between Carolina and Lexington in our matchup here today. These are two of the top 4 teams in the Gainbridge Super League, and here's how things look as it sits right now. Carolina would jump in front of Dallas at this point, but things are tight. And the second half kicks off in this matchup. Lexington in the green kits. It is that trailblazing kit for Carolina with the purple and the multicolored for the Ascent. Michael Watchrank, Jade Barquette, and the rest of our team with you here in Charlotte. And Jade, you take a look at this matchup, and you know that Lexington have the firepower. Will Carolina have similar firepower, or will these two teams, two of the best defensive teams in the league, show their place the rest of the way?
It's going to be an interesting second half for both these teams to come out with confidence, and that's what I'd really like to see. First half mistakes on both sides. Can they come out flying as they did in the first? It seems like Carolina is on that page.
One change at halftime. Tati Fung replaces Shea Moyer in the 11 for Lexington. That's the only change either side made in that first half. George rolls this. Corbin circles, crushes, and Asman makes her first save of the day.
That's great work for Carolina just to get an opportunity early in this second half, Mia Corbin just coming up there sneakily trying to take that shot. She was kind of falling away from it, didn't get the angle on it that she probably would have wanted, and it was right to Kat Asman, but Carolina pressing the issue again. They want to play in Lexington's defensive half.
Carolina losers of 2 of its last 3. Meanwhile, Lexington looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since November. Aguilera lines it up, shoots it across, redirected in. There's an empty header waiting there in the middle of the park for Studer, but can't put it on frame.
It's a goal kick for Lexington.
That's right in the path of her head, just trying to dive for it in that moment and skipped wide of the post. I love the way that Jill Aguilera just puts a little bit of texture on the ball every time that she serves it in. It just seems like it falls perfectly for her teammates, and that one was no exception.
Accelerating on that far side, Nabet tosses it in. Fung angles it out. Lexington sweep it up to midfield. Carolina have kept Catherine Berry fairly quiet in this matchup. One of the league's best goal scorers with 9 for the season. Pretty much shut out in that first half. Granted, her presence allowed Bourgeois' long-distance attempt to beat McClellan and go in.
You saw the numbers at halftime. Lexington did have the possession, but that was because they were keeping the ball in their own defensive half for most of the time. They really weren't threatening with the ball higher up the pitch at all, really, in that first half. And that's why we haven't seen Kat Berry or Addie McCain really on the ball that much, because they've been playing in their own defensive half for a majority of the first 45.
Ekic. Fung. Picked up here by Aguilera, and she gives it right back. Fung rolls it for Weinert. A chance to accelerate here for Lexington. Berry watches that ball roll out. Well, one area that Kosuke Kimura is trying to do with Berry is trying to keep her more centrally located. Felt like he watched some of the tape of the first half of the season and saw that she was playing in wider areas more frequently than the wide players are.
When he said that, I laughed, honestly, because when your 9 is going out and trying to get behind the back lines more than your wingers are, that it's not necessarily a problem, but you want her to stay more in that central role. And I talked a little bit about it in the first half. They've been working on her hold-up play. So with the defender on her back, keeping the ball in front of her, using her as more of a cushion for the team. So she can distribute right in front of her and either spin off and get the ball behind, or they can initiate the attack through that ball off.
Carolina have scored 11 times in the second half this season. It's the majority of their goals for the year. Granted, they have conceded 12 times in the second half all year. Almer gives it away. Good read there in the middle of the field by Butler. Nabet overlaps. Cross goes over. Steigletter ships it aside. Studer back with it. Martinez steps past that first defender. Stumbles. Back on it, Porter. Corbin with space. Corbin cranks. And ends up getting it over the top of a pile of snow and misses the target. Nucor Corporation is the safest, highest quality, lowest cost, most productive, and most profitable steel and steel products company in the world. Nucor is the official sponsor of the Carolina Ascent FC. Lexington had 5 clean sheets at the beginning of the year, but they've given up goals now in 6 consecutive matches. But this ball rolls perfectly. Weinert gets an angle. Weinert wallops! Weinert sizzles the strings. Lexington jump out in front. 2 goals in less than 10 minutes spanning the half. And one of the top teams in the league have the lead on the road.
By number 11, Mackenzie Weinert.
Mackenzie Weinert just continues her firepower, and once again, this comes off a giveaway in the central part of the pitch, and Lexington will take advantage of it. A great first touch by Weinert just to cut off Studer right there. The only thing Studer could have done is foul her, and then just slips it back towards the opposite side of the goal. McClellan tries to dive down, just doesn't get it in time because of the pace of the shot, and what a class finish by Mackenzie Weinert, who has just been so sturdy for this Lexington team from the fall to now the spring.
It's her 3rd goal in the last 4. And overall for the season now for Weinert, that is number 5. Lexington have not won a match this season when the opponent scores first, but they have the advantage on the road here against Carolina. Parker stumbles. That ball trickles out.
And Lexington is going to take advantage of all giveaways that are, especially in the central part of the pitch. They want to go straight to goal. And funny enough, Coach Kimura told us that he really wanted his team to relax more and bring the entire team into the final third. But in moments like that, when you have that opportunity to take the ball off transition, you want to go as fast as you can because it unbalances the back line of the other team. And Carolina there was a little bit unbalanced. Mackenzie Weinert is doing a very good job of cutting through space, especially cutting off Studer there, because honestly, Studer was in a pretty good position to defend her. That first touch just completely took her out of the equation, and they're going to pounce on that opportunity to score every single time.
And this is what Philip Poole had talked about within his group. So often this season, they've been in positions to get points, and for a variety of reasons, they haven't been able to hold on to advantages, or they haven't been able to close out games and turn a draw into a victory. And here, after scoring the first goal in the 36th minute, Bourgeois scores in the 43rd. Weinert comes back in the 52nd. And just like that, what was a 1-0 Carolina edge is 2-1 for Lexington. But this also does showcase what Lexington is and why they are still unbeaten at this point in the season and have not lost a match since last May. It just feels like they have the timely moments to be able to score goals. And here they go in the attack again. Weinert gets shoved to the deck. There is no foul, despite appeals from the team in green.
And honestly, that looked like a little bit of shoulder-to-shoulder contact between Jill Aguilera and Mackenzie Weinert. It looked extremely aggressive, but Weinert was kind of floating through the air at that point when she had touched the ball. But like you mentioned, it can be so frustrating for teams to not be able to close out games or get scored on late, and that's exactly what happened the last time these two teams met. And it's frustrating, but Philip Poole just has confidence in his team that they know what to do and they have the ability to do it, and the players that they have on the pitch and on the bench for them as well. It's just putting those final pieces together, and Lexington is a team that feels so complete at this point. They have the firepower up top, and Amina Ekic and Kat Berry and even Addie McCain, who really those front three have been a little bit quieter today. Mackenzie Weinert has just exploded onto the scene for Lexington, and when you have the ability to score from different players on all different sides of the field, you're going to be dangerous, and they are the most dangerous team in the Gainbridge Super League.
When you talk about a player, Mackenzie Weinert, that has really taken a nice step forward. She came into professional athletics in 2023 with Seattle, didn't see a lot of time in the NWSL, went over to Australia, played in 17 matches there, scored 5 times, had a pretty good impact, and then came back to the U.S. last year with Spokane. Really started to find a rhythm. 10 goals, 4 assists a year, or check that, 3 goals and an assist last year. I was looking at Amina Ekic's numbers. 3 goals and an assist last year, and this year all of a sudden, now 5 goals and an assist, and here she goes again. Weinert accelerates past everybody, hooks this ball in. McClellan paddles to the surface. It trickles out. Weinert picks it back up, and ultimately it floats right back into the chest of McClellan.
And here she goes again, like you mentioned, just the ability for her to control the ball and bring it back on the deck. She was looking up to see if Ekic was going to threaten down that back line, defended well by Carolina, and she decides to take that shot herself, pinballed around and then into the hands of McClellan to secure it. Carolina maybe taking a sigh of relief there after that one.
Carolina Ascent heading onto the pitch, number 18.
Shea Groom is coming out, so in her first Super League start, she comes off and gives way to Audrey Coleman, who has scored 3 times in the last 2 meetings with Lexington, including a brace last March.
We knew that Shea Groom probably wasn't going to play the full 90 here for Carolina, still finding her minutes and her feet as she is coming into a new season after being kind of out of season with the NWSL. But Audrey Coleman is a player that Carolina needs to see activated on this pitch for them today.
Game on, folks, with drinks in hand. The drinks on the pitch package gets you 1 beach club ticket and 2 drinks. Exclusive access for 21 and up fans for only $29. Grab yours at CarolinaAscent.com and kick back pitch side. Not sure today's the day you want to be on the beach with a little snow on the sidelines. But nevertheless, great vantage point to watch great action. Weinert once again accelerates into a pocket. Aguilera returns to defend. But I think this league has given more opportunities to more players, to more people to play professionally. And Weinert's a great example of that. She's 26 years of age, still plenty of tread on the tires, and still plenty of upward mobility. If this league did not exist, her career might be over at this point. People might not have taken a chance, but instead she's making the most of her opportunity.
I absolutely agree, and that was what I was thinking of when you were talking about that, Michael, was that this league is perfect for players who, maybe they haven't had much time in the NWSL, or they had experience there, but they weren't getting really valuable minutes, or they played overseas and really just trying to either restart, kickstart, or just kind of find their footing in the professional soccer world. And this league is so competitive because it has that type of player who are trying to find their footing, wanting to be competitive, wanting to show who they are as a soccer player. And Mackenzie Weinert is the absolute perfect example of that. Is she's fit into this environment, into this system so well, both for Mac Hemi and her new coach Kimura, and they've just exploded with her on the pitch. And it's really valuable when you see players like that who have been different places in their careers but find a setting that works best for them, and it can only go up here for Mackenzie Weinert and others.
Philip Poole talked about this Lexington side in very complimentary terms, but spoke specifically about the top three. Said that when you have a group of 3 players up top that complement each other as well as Lexington does, it's a good formula for success. Cross comes in. Barry angles it. Ekic could not quite read it properly. Lays it back. Steigletter. Ekic rolls it back. Steigletter slices across. No team in the league has more players with multiple goals this season. Lexington have 7 different players with 2+ goals for the year. So it's not just Barry with 9 or Weinert with 5 or McCain with 7. There's so many different pieces that can find ways to score for Lexington. They're number 1 in the league with goals, now 32 for the year.
And they have 9 different goal scorers, so that's at least 1 for those 9 players. It's impeccable when you put those type of players on the field. That's almost a whole starting 11 that could score a goal for you if you really put it that way. And Lexington has so much firepower. They're going to be the team to beat this year for sure.
A couple changes for Carolina. Riley Baisden comes in, as well as Addison Merrick. Those 2 replace Martinez and Corbett.
Number 10, Riley Baisden heading onto the pitch. In for number 9, Mia Corbett. And number 13, Addison Merrick. In for number 2, Brianna Martinez.
Half hour to go in this one. Carolina scored first in the 36th minute. They had the advantage against Lexington, who is unbeaten to begin the season. Lexington, a team that has not lost this year yet and have only trailed for 156 minutes all season long. But they found the rebuttal in this one. Bourgeois in the 43rd, Weinert in the 52nd, and a 2-1 advantage. And Philip Poole trying to pull all the punches out now to try to find solutions to a Lexington team that have given up 2 goals just twice since their season opener. Well, for Carolina, this is the first time that they have allowed multiple goals to an opponent since October 4th. Given up 1 or fewer in every match since that point. But now 2 in this one in the span of less than 10 minutes.
And they've responded well to them. They're not sitting back. They're not allowing Lexington to impose their will. They're trying to get as much pressure on the ball as they can to win it back. And when they do have it, what's really not working for them right now is just that speed of play. They don't really have a lot of options to threaten because they are trying to work defensively. It's how can they get up the pitch quickly, but then also spread out Lexington, who's so compact on the defensive side.
Well, it is part of the point that Philip Poole was making with us. I mentioned during their stretch of 6 straight where they had only scored twice, their XG was 8.13. And he said the reason why I utilized that was because it's non-subjective. It's not something that you can watch on the field or explain because you think that perhaps something's happening. It is a statistic based off of the opportunities that you've had, based on the areas with which you've had those opportunities that you should be scoring more. And he wants to see his team put away those chances, but in this game, they have 9 shots, but an XG of 0.67. So they're outpacing the number that they're supposed to be having. They just haven't had that level of quality that they're accustomed to.
And that's what really is the difference, is the quality of chances. Can they create positive opportunities on goal that set them up for the chances to put it away, whether it be shots and then a deflection and a follow-up to finish, whether that be just creative play around the box to give them an opportunity to score. They really just haven't had that creative sense around around the 18-yard box or really inside of it at all, just because Lexington has been so good about locking them down before they get in there. But they will have those opportunities. It's really just about putting them away with the quality chances on goal.
Well, if there's one negative about Lexington this year, 6 goals allowed after the 72nd minute. You can startle them a little bit at the end of matches. That ball heads off of Aguilera and concedes a corner kick presented by Nucor coming up here. That's the 5th of the match for Lexington.
And we have a corner kick for Lexington SC, brought to you by
Ekich very comfortable with taking some time off the clock because she knows that Carolina can have the opportunity to score, especially off of a transition moment here. They were doing it in the first half. Why can't Carolina do it here in the second?
Ekich rolls it in. Now elevates across. McClellan backpedals. Studer heads it aside. Schartz was waiting for it, and now will have a little bit more real estate for one of her long throws. Blue Cross North Carolina is the official health insurance provider of the Carolina Ascent FC. Blue Cross NC makes health insurance easy. Discover employer, individual, family, Medicare, and Medicaid plans for Blue Cross of North Carolina. Better care starts here. Schartz rifles it in. Headed to the middle of the park. Dangerous location. Rolled off of a couple. McCain gets nudged aside. And then George commits the foul. Free kick opportunity here for Lexington, looking for their first ever win against Carolina. Ball shoots across, and this time Barry doesn't put her body on the line, and McClellan is able to get to that. It's the first time that Lexington have led against Carolina since their very first meeting between the two. They led for 28 minutes in that match. Ekich comes away with this after a stumble from Merrick. And it's another foul coming here. And yet again, Bourgeois making appeals for a foul. Roughly 20 minutes or so left, with some stoppage time involved as well.
I would like to see Carolina just play with a little bit more urgency and intensity. Right now, they're just a little bit lackadaisical with the way that they're playing, not really securing the ball that much. You see that ball just played out of bounds by Riley Parker. Maybe she felt like she was under pressure on her back, but they just need to do those little details, checking their shoulder, yelling at their teammates to go higher up the pitch. They just need that spark of energy right now to try to win this ball back from Lexington, who is so comfortable with the ball at their feet and not going to give it away or take a lot of risks right now, especially when they're up.
We wonder if we'll see the team debut of Ava Cook, coming over after spending the last several seasons in Chicago. Given away. Merrick throws it right to the middle. There's plenty of space here. Good ball in. Shot attempt off of a body from the Bets and out. Across it goes, bouncing down. Basin hustles. Can't quite get there.
And a fantastic opportunity there for Carolina. This ball coming right across. Nobody from Lexington there to pick it off. And then Nabet brings the ball down perfectly. But Hannah Schartz was there with plenty of time to block it. Hands behind her back, was not called a handball there. Great opportunity for Carolina to get something going here late in the second half.
Lexington are making two defensive changes. Akich and Barry are coming out. They bring in Hannah White and Sarah Griffith into the match. So you bring out two players that have combined for 16 goal contributions and bring in White and Griffith, some fresh legs defensively for this team. What better way to bring people together than a night at American Legion Memorial Stadium? Whether you're planning team bonding, entertaining employees or clients, or organizing a night out with friends, Carolina Ascent FC offers affordable, customizable packages for groups of 10 or more. Experience top-tier professional women's soccer and make it a night to remember. Visit carolinaascent.com/groups or email carolinaascent.com/groups. No. Or email tickets@carolinaascentfc.com to learn more. I think there's a typo here.
Make sure the people know. You got to make sure the people know.
Felt like Ron Burgundy there for a second. I'm just reading everything that's in front of me. I didn't edit. Well, you see the foul whistled, and that being the end of that. We had the yellow card to Weinert early. I mean, that was a quick pull on a yellow. We haven't seen one since.
No, nothing. And she hasn't played like she's on a yellow either. That one, just frustration from both sides. Audrey Coleman there stepping on the pitch and making her presence known early. Setting the tone there for Carolina. Maybe something that they need here late in this second half. Add some spunk. Play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, knowing that you need a goal here to get a point back.
If you're just joining us, this match was scoreless until the 36th minute. Riley Parker scores for Carolina to put them out in front, and then Bourgeois hit one from a long distance away that was misjudged and misplayed in the back. Ended up in the net in the 43rd minute. We're tied at 1 at halftime. Weinert scored in the 52nd minute, giving Lexington its first lead in the series since the first ever meeting between these two sides. Lexington unbeaten in 16 in a row, a league record, while Carolina have lost 2 of its last 3 and have not won a match since December 6th. Michael Watring, Jade Barquette and our team guiding you to the finish line of this one in a 2-1 Lexington advantage. Looking to make it back-to-back wins since the first time since they rattled off a season-high 3 straight wins in October, November. And here we do get a foul and a card as well. Aguilera not happy about it, but she is the first Ascent player booked in this one.
Looked eerily similar to that shoulder-to-shoulder battle we saw earlier in this second half. That one, arm extended by Aguilera, definite foul. And ref maybe taking into account the few that we've seen earlier in this game and added on that yellow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have substitutions for your Carolina Ascent. Number 24, Emily Morris will be heading on.
2 changes coming in. It will be Emily Morris and the debut as well of Ava Cook coming on.
She'll be heading onto the
Porter
for number 14,
and Parker coming out. And this was Parker's goal at the time that made it 1-0.
Beautiful goal for Riley Parker, the first of the season for her. Hammered it home past Kat Asman and really got the momentum going for Carolina there in the first half. And they were doing so many things well. And here in the second, it's kind of dropped off. And I don't know if that's from fitness of doing it, trying to do it so hard in the first half, they can't keep that same momentum up, or knowing that they're trying to go for points and for a goal here late in the second. They haven't been able to really stick to their system. But for Carolina, Riley Parker was a key piece of their attack this afternoon.
Carolina is out shooting Lexington 4-2 in the second half, but overall for the match, They have just 11 touches inside of Lexington's box, including just 3 here in the second half. And with a quarter hour to go, that's going to need to change if they're going to make this comeback. First of 3 matches today here on Peacock. Coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Sporting Jackson, DC Power take flight. And then later on tonight at 8 p.m., it'll be Fort Lauderdale United and Dallas. Part of a triple header all day long here on Peacock in the Gainbridge Super League. Hope you can enjoy a full day of action here in the league. Carolina be able to muster something out of this. Carolina have only lost 1 match out of 10 this season when they have scored a goal. That was that 4-3 loss to Sporting Jackson September. So typically when they score, good things happen, but so far not here today. Ball rolls out of play, so it will be a throw. Enter the Gainbridge Back to Play giveaway for a chance to win a prize pack, including signed gloves from U.S. Women's National Team legend Brianna Scurry and more. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter for a chance to win. Another foul here. We're going to get another Lexington change. Hannah Johnson, the 22-year-old out of Mississippi State, replaces Mackenzie Weinert, and Weinert's goal as it sits right now is the difference in the game. And it was a delight in the 52nd minutes.
It truly was. Just that first touch to take her across Studer really sets her up beautifully. And then the second was this tuck into that post. And Mackenzie Weinert's a player that really cannot be stopped right now, Michael. She is speedy on that right side. She's really good at hiding from the back line of teams where she'll just hang out and pick her moments where she just goes and her teammates find her in prime opportunities. That was one of them off of a transition moment.
Been almost 10 minutes since Carolina's last shot. A team down by a goal is desperately trying to stave off the teams below as this ball's given away. George has it. George cuts back. It trickles over, and it's poked aside. Ava Cook was circling but could not quite get a piece.
And that's what we've been talking about all match, Michael, is those quality opportunities for Carolina. That one fell right into their lap. They just couldn't put anything away. Ava Cook there thinking that Tati Fung was one of her teammates, just tried to play it back to her, panicked a little bit maybe in that moment. Mackenzie George is trying to take that first touch. The back line for Lexington did do a good job of recovering, but they just didn't get quite the shot off at all.
Lexington this year has played now its 5th match against teams top 4 on the table. 2 wins, 2 draws. Been a dynamic year, but I know Konosuke Kimura was mentioning to us he wants to turn some of those draws into wins. And if you look at their record against the bottom 5 in the league, they've played 10 matches against those teams, 7 draws. Talk about at the end of the year when it comes to the Players' Shield and home field advantage in the postseason. You're going to want to get those points when you can against those teams that are below you. Griffith. McCain. That was enough to keep that ball in play, but Has to give it away to Studer. Will Carolina be able to do something that Lexington has done twice in the series history, and that's provide equalizers late in matches? With about 10 minutes to go, they trail by a goal. Pantuso heads it forward. This time it is Cook picking it up. Runs into a defender. Bourgeois skies it out. Late challenge from Baisden, and she is going to see a yellow card.
That foul looked like it hurt very bad, especially on a hard and cold ground like it is out there right now. Baisden again just mistimed that and got all feet, no ball. That'll be booked every single time.
Stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Cook lays it off. Aguilera back for Cook. Cuts it forward. Aguilera plays it into a pocket. Trickles over Morris. High arcing ball to the top of the 18. It bounces down. Pantuso steps in front to get it out. Morris can't control. Aguilera twirls. Nabat. Studer. Baisden. Throw in for Carolina. This is the most sustained possession that they've had in the attacking third all match.
I think Lexington is feeling the pressure. You see their entire team drop back into their defensive half. Addie McCain, who's their first line of defense, was on the opposite side of the center circle. So they're really trying to compact the space for Carolina right now, who is pushing the pace and trying to get an opportunity on goal.
Baisden gives this ball away, but it's taken right back by Merrick. Nabat mashes, and it just does rise over the top.
I love the 1 and 2 touch passing from Carolina right now, just trying to keep Lexington away from the ball. You see this pass in, and then a little cheeky touch by Cook right to Nabat, who takes this one time. She hit it with like the inside of her foot near the top part of her laces and just tried to whip it in on that back post, but just not enough on it to make it dip down.
Carolina have only scored 3 goals later this season than the point that we're currently at, including twice in stoppage time. Aguilera pulls away from the pack to take over this ball. McClellan lines it up and gets it out. Bodies collide, appeals for a foul, no whistle. Johnson tracks it down. Steigletter. Right in the chest of Baisden, and then a foul coming here. Almer commits it against Cook. Lexington have only allowed multiple goals on the road once all year. That was the 3 in the season opener at Fort Lauderdale. Prior to this one, they'd given up 3 in their last 6 road matches combined. And if Carolina can get a second, that would be massive for Philip Pohl's crew. After this one, it's home matches against Spokane, Dallas, Tampa Bay. This very well 4-match swing could be a defining portion of the season for Carolina.
I think you absolutely nailed it, Michael, that this home stretch early on in the spring, you can refine things. You can learn a lot about your team, especially with the new pieces that they've added in, and getting that extended time at home just allows you to be comfortable within the team, comfortable within the system, playing on your home pitch. And like you said, if they can steal back a goal here and then steal the points back from Lexington, that gives this team massive loads of confidence to go into the rest of the streak. And you mentioned Lexington. They learned their lesson in that game against Fort Lauderdale at the beginning of this season, and they just continue to show why they are a powerhouse in this league. But Carolina not letting them get away with this one easily, continuing to put pressure on them in the second half.
And forcing a giveaway here. Asman slow to get up, and she does now get up as her team recovers the ball. Carolina finishes the season with 6 of 9 on the road. Their final match of the year is at home after a 10-day layoff against Sporting Jacks, and that match very well could be Sporting Jacks trying to get the #1 seed in the postseason and the Shield as well. Almer splits the first, not the second. Give it away. Cook heavy on the touch. Does the splits to get it back, and eventually Johnson rifles this ball into space. McClellan ducks back. Aguilera steps in front, wins the ball, draws the foul against Griffith. That's why she's the reigning defender of the year.
I was just about to say that was a veteran move by Jill Aguilera. Griffith almost had her beat there, and the way that she recovered so quickly to cut her off and get her body in front of it. I mean, that is what you need out of your outside back. This ball was just clipped over. She was on the wrong side of her, but uses her body to get in front of Griffith, who then eventually fouls her from behind.
Off of the first chest. There's plenty of room on that left-hand side. George circles, crosses to the middle. There's a bunch of green jerseys there, and it doesn't get through any of them. Cook twirls. Nabet comes out of the pack. Nabet tosses it to the spots. Almer clears it away. Frenetic few moments here down the stretch here from Lexington's defense.
You saw there was 2 opportunities there, Mackenzie George and then Nabet as well, having the ball at their feet on the outside of the box, trying to put it in, but there's not enough power on those crosses. They didn't pick out any runs, any other teammates that were in the box to try to give it to them to have the best opportunity at goal either.
Good work there by Audrey Coleman to get the ball back. 2 more minutes plus the stoppage time number we're waiting on. Ultimately, it trickles out here for a goal kick. Carolina came into this one having lost 3 of its last 6 by 1-0 margins. Lexington, meanwhile, looking to win back-to-back matches after a string of 4 consecutive draws. And they lead 2-1 thanks to goals from Bourgeois and Weinert less than 10 minutes apart, spanning the half. After Parker scored the opening goal in the 36th minute. Michael Watring, Jade Barquette, and our crew here in chilly Charlotte, taking you to the finish line here today. Thanks for tuning in to the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. Good run there in the middle of the field. Morris picks out space. Morris dribbles, pokes it to the side. George nudges it back. Aguilera watches it out. It's a throw for Carolina. Off of a miss hit there from Pantuso. It had just enough spin on it to fly back into the paws of Asmund.
That's why you always have to continue to run in the box. You never know when a ball can bounce like that. Happened in the first half. Nabet was there to try to get her head on it before Kat Asmund put it in her paws.
Stoppage time is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. 4 minutes to go.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time presented by Blue Cross North Carolina.
Asmund will try to take as much time as she can here. And despite that, ultimately ruled that ball rolled out. So it's a corner kick.
Ascent corner kick brought to you by Nucor.
Nucor presents our corners, and these are one of the chances that Carolina had been waiting for. Aguilera lines it up, arcs it in, hits off of the first head and goes out. Off of Lexington, and another chance at it.
We have another corner kick brought to you by Nucor. Taking that corner kick for Carolina Ascent. Once again, number 7, Jill Aguilera.
Aguilera slingshots it across. Bodies rise. It rolls over to the left-hand side. Shot attempt whistles in. Almer knocks it out. Second ball back in. Cook brings it in. 3 defenders nearby. Pantuso heads it out. Morris arcs it to the back post and over everybody, and ultimately out for a goal kick.
Lexington right now weathering the storm of Carolina's attack. There has been some chances. Quality, again, the question mark of those. I haven't really seen Kat Asmund be tested too much. The only time she really was when Nabet was trying to get in front of her there as that ball was bouncing towards her. But for Lexington right now, can they just keep the ball higher up the pitch and away from their 18? Because with the amount of pressure that Carolina is putting on them, it's bound to go in at one point.
Morris floats this in. George circles, brings it down. Can't quite slow it down enough, however. Morris ricochets that out.
George with a prime opportunity there once again. In my head, I thought she might have taken it off the volley and shot it in, which would have been spectacular because she knew the pressure from Lexington was coming right behind. And with this Lexington backline, you don't have the time to take a touch. They won't let you take a touch. They're going to go straight for the ball.
Baisden bashes across. Cook gets a piece. Less than a minute to go here in Charlotte. Aguilera back in. Second ball floats to the ground. Merrick settles. Lexington doing what it does better than any team in the league, and that's defend. The fewest goals allowed this season. Griffith commits the foul, however, and Carolina will get one more chance at this on a free kick.
And that's going to be a foul on Lexington SC. Free kick, Carolina Ascent.
Jill Aguilera readies to go with this. Led the league last year with 7 assists. Megan McClellan is up. Last-ditch effort for the Ascent. Aguilera floats it into the box, headed by Studer. Back across, Nabet cannot get to it. Full-time whistle blows. Lexington erases a deficit for the first time this season to earn a victory. It's 2 in a row for Lexington, 17 consecutive unbeaten in their first ever win against Carolina. 2-1, your final today.
A great performance by Lexington, and they're continuing their power here into the spring schedule. Head coach Kosuke Kimura said returning those ties into wins, and they for sure have here in 2026, and they just continue their dominance, whether it be defensively or scoring goals. They find a way to win games and close them out. Carolina had a great first half, dictating play, but couldn't keep that up all the way through the next 45.
Lexington, no wins, no losses, 6 draws this season when tied at the half until today. 1-1 at halftime and a victory in our matchup here today. Our player of the match for Carolina, presented by Nucor, is Riley Parker with this great finish.
And scored her first goal of the season today. Just absolute rocket pass, Kat Asman. All laces there for Riley Parker, who really controlled most of the offensive opportunities for the Ascent this afternoon.
But the player that had the game winner in this matchup is Mackenzie Weinert. She scored the game winner in the 52nd minute, and we bring her in now. Mackenzie, Michael Watring, and Jade Barquette with you. Mackenzie, congrats on the goal. Walk me through what you see in that stretch as you put in your 5th of the season.
Thank you. I think it was Kat who played a great ball. Their center backs were kind of stretched, so I just made the run in between, and Kat had the vision to see it. And all I really had to do is slot it away after that.
It really looks like this team has not taken any sort of break at all. How have things changed or really elevated since you came back in here into 2026?
Yeah, I think we spoke about no more ties. I think I mentioned this last time, and you're seeing that happen. We're getting wins and results, and so super proud of the team, super proud of the coaching staff to help us get the 3 points and on to the next game.
Mackenzie, we were talking about your journey on the air. Seattle, Melbourne, Spokane. How valuable has this opportunity been, not just with Lexington, but in this league?
Yeah, it's been great. Playing minutes are so valuable, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm so thankful that there's another league for women and men and whoever want to watch the game and look up to role models here in this league. So super thankful.
Mackenzie, thanks so much for the time. Congrats on the win. Go enjoy this one.
Thank you.
That is Mackenzie Weinert. Had the game winner in the 52nd minute. We'll see that goal after the break. Our post-game report comes your way in just a moment. Lexington beats Carolina 2-1. We're back to Charlotte in a moment. Our post-game report today is presented by Nucor. Lexington 2, Carolina 1. Michael Watring, Jade Barquette, and our team back with you to wrap things up here from Charlotte as we take a look at our Nucor full-time highlights in this one. And it was a stalemate for a half hour in this match, and then it's just a giveaway from the back that sets up this opportunity for Riley Parker.
It really was a back and forth game, and Mia Corbin does the defensive work to set up her teammate Riley Parker, who just streaks through the back line of Lexington, catching them off guard. Pantuso on the back foot and takes advantage of the opportunity that was given to her.
1-0 at that point. One of the 5 matches this year in which Lexington have trailed, but it didn't last long. 7 minutes later, Bourgeois pounds this, McClellan misreads.
Yeah, it definitely was a blunder there in the box for Carolina, but Bourgeois with the first goal of her career. Turns out like this, sometimes all you need is a runner to disrupt the eyesight of the keeper, and that's exactly what Kat Berry did to keep her team even with Carolina. And then from there, it just started to turn into the Lexington game. This ball, another giveaway from Carolina straight to Berry, who just played Weiner in, standing there right between the center back and outside back of Carolina. All she had to do was take one touch to cut off Studer, and she was home free, tucks this one in. Weiner's going to score that every time.
Her 3rd goal in her last 4 matches. Here's your full-time stats presented by Nucor. Carolina got a lot of their activity done late in the match. I think they ended up with 22 touches in the opponent's box, 14 in the second half. But in the end, Lexington just played the most consistent 90 minutes.
They definitely did. It was a little too late for Carolina as that match went on, but Lexington just continued to show their power, their presence, and confidence within one another and on the ball. They never let up this entire match, and you can see it in the stats and also the end result with them winning this match.
Valentine's Day dates at home for both of these teams. Carolina gets Spokane, Lexington gets Dallas. Meanwhile, one more game to come at 5 p.m., one more at 8 p.m. here on Peacock, starting with Sporting Jacks and DC Power. But it is Lexington making it 17 straight unbeaten with their first ever win against Carolina. For my partner Jade Barquette and our team, I'm Michael Watring signing off. Thanks so much for watching. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.